What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Dorian Show. I am back for the 14th time, and I gotta say, I'm looking jacked as hell for those who are watching on YouTube. Um, Dude, I am back, but I come with bad news. My father recently passed away, and that was very sad. So I'm gonna say a few words for him. Um, he was a good man. Him and I, we didn't have too many deep conversations, but he was a man of action. I remember him I remember him picking me and my brother up from school, and he'll bring our bicycles with him so we could ride them back home. I remember him taking us to the park. Um, I remember when I was very young, he would take me to the zoo with my cousins. He would take me to amusement parks like Six Flags, and just a lot of quality time that I think a lot of children need with their dad. And I was very lucky to have that. I remember sometimes he would take me to McDonald's right before school, and this was like a long time ago before my brother was starting school. And yeah, he would take me to McDonald's for breakfast, and I would just miss PE. Like, I missed a ton of PE, dude. I was so fat. But it was a good time. And he was a very good man. He came to this country with nothing, but he was able to save up and buy a house in San Francisco. He put me and my brother through private school, at least up until the 8th grade. And yeah, he got married, has two boys that he loved, and obviously we love them very much. So I think, objectively, he could look back and be proud of what he has achieved. He did a good job, and I think anybody looking at that would think he did a great job as well. Um, so yeah, our family's gonna miss him a lot. My mom and my brother and I, we're gonna miss him a lot. Um, but but yeah, it's time to move on. I can only hope that one day I could just be even half as good as the man he was, and be able to do some of the stuff that he's done. Um, and maybe when it's all over for me, I get to look back as well and say that I did a good job. But as of right now, I'm not, because I'm doing a podcast that nobody listens to. But yeah, I do want to say that him passing away really put a lot of things into like perspective. Uh, the time that we have is very important, and everything that we do at that time matters a lot. But at the end of the day, when you like pass away, like, none of it really matters. So it's kind of a weird thing, right? It both means your time on this planet all means a lot, and at the same time, when it's all over, then the world will move on. So do whatever you guys need to do. Follow your dreams or whatever. So don't live your life with regrets. Blah blah blah. And that's what I'm doing. I was like, what's going to make my dad real proud is if I start my podcast again and make no money. That would make him happy in Chinese heaven, uh, or whichever heaven he's in. Um, it is kind of crazy where, as sad as it was for me and my family, like, we did get to spend time with him during his last days. My brother hit me up about a week before he passed, and I went back home. I talked to him, sat by his side. Basically anything that we wanted to say to him, we already said. We got to say to him, so we got like the ultimate closure. And just taking that to perspective, like, we could have easily been in a third world country, and a bomb could have just been dropped on our head, and that would be it. Like, that was no crying, no nothing, no saying your goodbyes, no nurses coming to your home, just vanish from the face of the earth. And so, yeah, take that into perspective, I guess. Like, people are dying over there in Iran, and I don't really actually know what's going on politically. I'm very ignorant in all things, technically. Um, But it's just it's very sad to see people dying, and like it just seems like it's that lives are just thrown away so easily, and I mean, that's sad. We probably shouldn't do that unless we really have to. I don't know why we're there, but maybe there's a good reason. I don't know. Israel seems to think so. So, I don't know. Prices have been going up, obviously, since they shut down the Strait of Hormuz. Dude, by the way, why is Iran the only place that's like shutting down the Strait of Hormuz? I feel like more people should be doing that. You know what I mean? Like it's such a strong card to play. You know what I'm saying? Like the U.S. say, hey, can we have Greenland? They're like, no. They're like, oh, we're bombing the Strait of Hormuz. You know what I mean? Guac is extra. Strait of Hormuz. But yeah, prices are going up. Everything's going up. Gas in San Francisco is about $5.70, I think. Dude, it's going to be gas, and it's going to lead to everything else because everything logistically needs to be transferred throughout the world and throughout the U.S. So expect food prices to go up, guys. And you know me, I love to eat steaks every day because I am a spoiled brat and live a very privileged life in a sick studio for those who are watching at home. But yeah, I mean, I basically can't even buy a home anymore. I've kissed that dream goodbye. I owned a condo maybe 5 years ago, and I sold it, flipped it, made a couple $1,000s. Not a lot. It was a terrible situation, but I'm never going to be able to do that again. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm just a renter like everybody else now. So, but yeah, if you guys want to move to LA, let's see. Here's some videos of what you guys could possibly get. This first place here is in downtown LA. Let's just watch the video.
Looking for budget-friendly housing in downtown LA? The Alexandria Hotel was first constructed in 1906. Its famous banquet hall with stained glass ceiling was added in 1911. It hosted famous guests such as President Roosevelt, Mary Pickford, Rudolph Valentine, and Charlie Chaplin. It was designed by John Parkinson and named after the hotel's owner, Harry Alexandria. It was remodeled in 1960 when a 13...
Dude, that's not bad at all. $1,400 for a studio. I mean, I guess I don't think there's parking there, so that could be a huge bummer. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if you have a middle class job like I do, I'm very blessed. For those that feel like $1,400 is a lot, I feel your pain. But yeah, I mean, that was a pretty nice place. A $1,400 studio. I pay like almost $2,000, but I live in West Hollywood, and I have a parking spot, and I've got a 1-bedroom. But that building looked nice, dude. You know what I'm saying? But the terrible thing is, like, you might have bad neighbors. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like, imagine you moved into that place. You're like, I finally made it. I came all the way to LA. My dreams are to come true. I'm gonna start my life, and then the next day you realize these are your neighbors.
Yo, why? Just why, bro?
Let's watch one more. Oh, I guess that was it. Dude, so those guys actually lived in that building that you just saw, the $1,400 building. These kids were like blowing up. I saw them right before I came back to LA, and they're like they're like drug addicts, and they're all holed up in a 1-bedroom studio. It's studio. It's not even a 1-bedroom, and they're SoundCloud musical artists, and they're just going viral, just smashing and destroying their studio. But yeah, dude, imagine like living next to them. Imagine like spending all your money on rent, and you're like, these fuckers pay no rent and are destroying destroying the apartment, making life hell for you and everybody else around them. That's living in LA, by the way. So if anybody out there are living like in the suburbs and you want to move into the city, like that's a good chance. Like I've lived next to people that were like pretty terrible people. I'm not as bad as them, but like just noisy and screaming and playing loud music. Some might say housing is not expensive enough. Not me, dude. Not me. But if it was like $5,000 a month, then I wouldn't be able to afford it. But yeah, that's crazy. They should really do a collaboration with this other band that's kind of blowing up in LA. I don't know if you guys have heard of them. They're called let's see here. They're called what are they called? Boy Throb. They're like the exact opposite of those drug addicts. Like these guys are like singers, kind of poppy. You know what I mean? Pretty it looks like they have a little bit more money, They're like whites without face tattoos. Let's watch some of this.
Been a feminist band.
You got an Indian dude there from India? Hell yeah, dude. Okay, I'm gonna take that off before they sue me for $0. But yeah, dude, Boy Throb and that other band Sigil Kult should get together and do a collab, dude. They'll take over LA, dude. Yeah, this is crazy. I'm back. I've recently made a new investment that I'm very excited to share about. I am now officially a season holder ticket. What am I saying? I'm a season ticket holder of a Los Angeles professional sports team. And which team do you think that is? Let me give you a little hint, dude. LA, Los Angeles, Crypto Arena. That's right. I'm a proud season ticket holder of the Los Angeles Sparks. WNBA. Dude, this is probably like a bad investment, but I made a lot of bad investments in my time. Like I went through. There's something about reselling stuff really catches my eye, Like I can't even explain it. Like I've done other resale stuff. I've resold shoes in the past. And let me tell you, dude, like a lot of people might make you feel like it's a good investment to buy and sell sneakers. It's a terrible, terrible way to make money. Because to make any like real money, you need to have a lot of capital, right? Like even if you buy like a pair of Jordans for like 160, which I've done before, and sold it for like $600, which I've done before. Jordan 6 infrareds, the Jordan 6 infrareds. But the thing that sucked was like I held on to those shoes for like 6 years, and then when I finally sold it, I made like $400 in 6 years, which I think percentage wise I made a ton of money, or more than doubled my money. But like I had to hold the pair of shoe, which the moment it gets to your house, dude, that pair of shoes is a ticking time bomb. Like shoes fall apart if you don't wear them, or over time they just fall apart. The glue like stops holding it together. But yeah, I feel like a lot of people that are successful in it, they either are able to get the shoes in bulk, which is a ton of money, and it's a lot of risk, right? If you can't move the product. So I think a lot of people lost money that way, and it's hard to even get those shoes. Like if you want to get like the good shoes, like Yeezys and certain Jordans, like you need to get a bot, and those are like thousands of dollars, and there's no guarantees that you'll get every pair. But I know this, and I still was into sneaker selling for a while. And sometimes I would see a couple of pair of Jordans, and I'm like, dude, I want to get one of those. I want to get a few pairs so I can resell them. I'm like in my late 30s. I have enough shoes in my closet for the rest of my life, and I like wearing my shoes until they're completely destroyed. But yeah, it's a bad investment. I'm always like there's something in my blood that makes me want to like do some reselling. You know what I mean? Like I looked into like doing like Pokemon cards, but I'm like, I can't. I watch videos of people like fighting over buying Pokemon cards, and I'm like, I can't do that, dude. I can't fight over a $40 pack of Pokemon cards and flipping it for like $50. You know what I mean? But how I look at the WNBA, tickets are slightly better. You know what I mean? Like the tickets are all virtual. I don't need to go out and line up to try to get these tickets. Dropped my mic. Sorry to everybody that was listening at home. I didn't have to line up to get those tickets. You know what I mean? I mean, given the demands aren't really that high, but the price point is low enough where I feel like I can make some money. I'm not going to make a lot of money. I think I will profit. But the tickets value-wise aren't worth a lot. But yeah, I think WNBA is going to blow up. And, you know, a lot of people joke. I joke about this, and a lot of people like think I'm not serious, but I actually think the WNBA might be a better product than the NBA currently, and this is why. Like the NBA has become like so boring. There's like too many games. The playoffs are too long. Players get to go to different teams. Like I don't even know what team James Harden and Kevin Durant are, right? Like they just go to new teams every year. There's no like drama. There's no conflict anymore. I think they sanitized the game down so much. Like you can barely play defense on anyone. You can't talk trash. Like you need conflict. You need drama to sell tickets, and I think the NBA is missing that. Like you're just there to like watch people do athletic stuff. Like, yeah, I don't know if that's enough. Like people care about storylines. You know what I mean? Like back in the day when I was young, I remember. Well, just even recently, right? When LeBron came in, it's always about like LeBron versus Carmelo, who's going to have the better career. Obviously, LeBron does. People were always like comparing them. People were always looking forward to the matchups. And it was like LeBron against the Lakers, LeBron against Boston. It was LeBron against Orlando with Dwight Howard. These are like must-see TV games that you had to watch. And I just don't think that they have that anymore, right? Remember, like when LeBron went to Miami, like it was must see TV because everybody hated LeBron for leaving the Cavs, and the players are kind of hating on him for moving, but that's all gone, dude. But like in the WNBA, they have drama, right? There's the whole Caitlin Clark thing. She's clearly the best. All the fans are behind her, but then there are rumors, there are drama. I don't know if it's true or not, but like the narrative is that other players are jealous of her. You know what I mean? They don't like all the attention that she's getting. Angel Reese against Caitlin Clark is stemming back from college days. The other players that saying that, you know, she's not the best player. They're like cut. They didn't let her onto the Olympic team last year. They had her come off the bench during the FIBA tournament this year. Like, there's just drama. Like, people are willing to be like, oh, shoot, like, what's going to happen when she plays Angel Reese? Is Angel Reese going to talk smack? Like, that's must-see TV. Sure, they're, like, less athletic, but they actually play, like, really hard defense. Like, these refs are just letting these girls clock each other in the head, which is, it might be going too far, but, like, it gets people pumped up. Like, the fans of the team of the girl that's getting fouled is like, where's the foul? Blah, blah, blah. The girl gets up, you know, they go chest to chest with another girl, and that's how rivalries are started. So, but yeah, I don't know. Obviously, the NBA is still a way more popular game than the WNBA, but one thing's for sure, the NBA is losing viewers on TV, and WNBA is only growing viewers. I don't think WNBA will ever get to the height of the NBA popularity, not for a long time at least, but there's like a investment opportunity here, and it was not a lot of money for me, and I actually do like the WNBA. I actually watch more WNBA the past 2 years than the actual NBA, so You know what I mean? Like if I don't can't sell the tickets, I'll go, and even if I lose money, it's not too much money. So yeah, very excited to resell at WNBA tickets, and probably will let you guys know at the end of it. It was a bad investment, but it's fun. It's fun to say that I'm a season ticket holder or something. You know what I mean? Like, don't the ladies love season ticket holders? You know, I'm also an ally. Shout out to me. We'll see. We'll see what happens. What else I want to talk about? Dude, inflation because of Iran is killing me, dude. Prices are going up. People are afraid we're going to hit a recession. The stock market is tanking. Crypto is tanking. But at the end of the day, I think you got to stay invested in stocks. I'm still invested in stocks. What I think is going to happen is obviously inflation is not going to come down. With prices going up with the oil and people are losing jobs, it's kind of a bad time to have prices go up and the economy go down, which is called stagflation. However, I think you cannot just take your money and put it under your mattress at this point. Like, you need to be invested in assets. Because when inflation comes, the only thing that goes up in price is like your assets, which includes homes and stocks, basically. But yeah, I mean, even if there's a recession, people are going to want to put their money somewhere, and the only thing that rises in price faster than inflation are assets. So I'm thinking a lot of people are going to buy more stocks. The S&P 500 is my favorite, is my go-to. Any of the FANG stocks, all the tech stocks are getting hit lately. They're so cheap, in the price to earnings ratio. For example, Nvidia right now I think is trading less than 16 forward PE. So, dude, that AI is going to be here for the next 20 years. In terms of like ramping up, it's going to be around for at least 20 years before I even think we're going to see a crash. And during that time, I think Nvidia is going to dominate. They got the best chips. Everybody wants them. They're going to probably start selling chips to China. So yeah, that's all I got to say about that. It kind of hurts seeing my portfolio go down every day by a lot, but I'm not smart enough to start a business, guys. So that's all I got. I just got to buy stocks and hold on and pray that everything's going to be okay. And yeah, I think the whole world's going to come to the U.S. markets. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? If there's like a global like recession and inflation, if you're living in like Europe, do you want to buy European stocks? No, you want to buy U.S. stocks because we're the best country in the world. But yeah, I've also been very into Ethereum lately. I'm not going to pull up the chart for you guys because I can't. But Ethereum, I think Ethereum is the future of crypto, dude. It's got kicked in the mouth, basically. I know Bitcoin's been going down, but I think it's more important than Bitcoin at this point for a couple of reasons. So people like Bitcoin because they were like, this is digital gold. The money is getting inflated away. There's a limited amount. You know what I mean? It's good against inflation. The problem is the actual gold has been easier to get, like, because they're tokenizing gold now, right? So each token you get on like certain blockchains, they're kind of like a crypto token that represents like a certain amount of gold. So you could actually buy gold easier now than ever, 24/7. But now that even gold's digital, there's less need of a digital gold called Bitcoin. Bitcoin was very valuable to people like living in Nigeria or other countries where inflation was going crazy. So like to fight against inflation, they like held on to Bitcoin, because Bitcoin, as how erratic it goes up and down, it's still more stable than their hometown currency. But now we have stable coins, which are, coins that are backed by the one-to-one for whatever country you're from. The biggest one obviously being the US dollar, USDC stable coin, where one USDC is backed by $1 of American dollars. So as much as like Bitcoin's like a really bad place to store your money if you want stability. Sure, it could go up and you could become rich, but it also could crash. So I think a lot of these third world countries are going to start loading up on stable coins like USDC, so they can hold American dollars to fight against inflation on their own country's currency. That's why I think Bitcoin's still probably going to be one of the bigger cryptos out there. But I think because of all this, I think Ethereum is a better play. And if you guys don't know what Ethereum is basically where most of these like new crypto businesses and stable coins are built upon. So the more people that build on Ethereum, the more they'll need their tokens to keep the blockchain stable. And at some point, the price of one Ethereum coin is going to go up. So I'm invested in it. I'm investing it through both the Ethereum coin and also through BMNR, which is a company that just is a treasury, and they buy a bunch of Ethereum, and they're down like huge right now. But lately, I've just been gobbling it up. It is scary, you know what I mean. But I've at this point, I've been in the stock market long enough that I'm not too worried. I put a significant amount of my money in it, but not enough where like if it goes to zero, I will be destitute. But I have a long-term view. I'm not gonna really panic, at least for like the next 10 years, because I think even before that, I think Ethereum will be able to prove itself as the best crypto blockchain. So yeah, I mean, if anybody have enough money that they feel like they could just store away and not need that money for like a couple years, BMNR and Ethereum might be a good play for you. Sure, it could go to zero, but then it also has a chance, and I think has a likelihood to 10x, 20x, 30x your money. No guarantees, of course, but those are the kind of bets that I like to make. I've made bets like this before. They didn't go 10x, but I made some bets in uranium, which is also going down right now, and I think I made maybe 4 or 5 times my money on uranium that I held maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. So I mean that turned out okay. There are other stocks obviously that did way better, but that's what I like, right? A majority of my money I like to put in index funds like S&P 500, which I don't because I'm a dummy. I buy a lot of individual stocks that I just happen to do very well in. But if I could do it all over again, I think a majority of my money will be in the S&P index because it's safe, and if the market does well, it does well. If the market does really bad, it doesn't do as bad as if you were buying individual stocks. And then whatever money you have on the side, you should go for like the home run plays, right? So for me, a couple years ago, I was like, uranium's the home run play. I still think it has a lot of leg to go, but it's been slow. So, and then other home run plays, obviously crypto, Ethereum, BMNR. But yeah, I'm glad I'm back. I'm happy to be back, shooting my first podcast in over a year. It might have been 2 years now. I got a new setup here. Hopefully the audio and everything turns out okay. But I need to get my legs back in. Should be able to do more of these. Hopefully I could get some interviews with some of my friends. Those tend to do way better. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm going to obviously talk a lot about financial markets and finance, but also what's going on just in general. I don't know what this podcast is going to be, and maybe no one will ever listen to it. Maybe I'll continue to grow it. Before I quit, I was getting like maybe 40 listeners. That's the height, 40 listeners. So maybe I could get more of that. But thank you guys for listening. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.